What's up, guys? I'm Josh Mosiman. Welcome to This Week in MXA, episode number 125, presented to you guys by O'Neill Racing. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. We are going to talk about the Salt Lake City Supercross, talk about the upcoming Pro Motocross Nationals, the chaos that we have with so many injured riders, especially in the 450 class. And we are also excited to announce that Motocross Action has our own fantasy league that just came out for the Outdoor Nationals this year. So very excited to do that. Not too many guys do fantasy leagues for outdoors. This is a brand new thing for the Motocross Action Wrecking Crew, so excited to share on that. But first, let's talk about Salt Lake City Supercross and what happened there. So the Salt Lake City Supercross is done, dusted, and behind us, but it wasn't as dusty as normal because of that rain that came on in the main events. I talked to some of the spectators there. They were actually, some of them were standing by the concession stands watching the race on TV because it was so cold and windy and rainy inside the stadium. So kind of a bummer that both of the East-West shootouts this year turned out to be rainy and wet and slippery, but at least this one wasn't as bad. It was the West Coast riders that came out on top with Jet Lawrence, RJ Hampshire, and Levi Kitchen. So congrats to those guys in the 250 East-West Championship. Also congrats to Chase Sexton on his 450 Supercross Championship. Awesome to see Aaron Plessinger bounce back after his injury. He said he's still beat up and bruised, but he came back to get second at the finale. So pumped for my buddy Justin Hill. He retired after the 2020 season to be a patrol deputy officer for the Douglas County Sheriff's Department in Oregon. So he went from policeman, cop, sheriff, back to racer in 2023. He took 2.5 years off from his last time racing Supercross. He did do some hill climb racing in between and stayed active, but yeah, pretty cool to see him on the podium. He survived a full 17-round season. Him and his brother scored multiple top 10s together. Josh Hill was 6th place in Salt Lake City, so very cool for those guys, and very cool for the Privateer Team Tedder KTM team, sponsored by Monster Energy, so great job to those guys. But 450 main event, besides that battle with Justin Hill and Adamson Cirillo, besides Aaron Plessinger coming through the pack, it was fairly easy for Chase Sexton to get the win, and just cool to watch him celebrate his championship. So you have to be in it to win it, and that's something that riders deal with every season. There's riders hurt all the time, and this time it was Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb who made it quite a bit easier for Chase Sexton to get that #1 plate. Next up, I want to talk about the injured list and what we have to look forward to with the Pro Motocross Series starting up next weekend at Paula Raceway. So when this video comes out, we will have 11 days left until the Pro Motocross season opener. So it is right around the season corner, and I am stressed out because I decided to race 3 bikes at 3 rounds. We mentioned it in last week's video: Yamaha at Paula, Honda at Hangtown, and Gas at Thunder Valley. Right now, the only bike I have dialed in is the Gas. Pro Circuit got a suspension, WP cone valve forks, track shock, all dialed in. We're ready to go on that bike. Yamaha, almost ready, still waiting for suspension. The Honda, nowhere near even getting suspension for that thing yet. So we're last minute over here, but still making it work. It's gonna be fun either way, no matter what suspension we're running at the races. But let's look at the entry list and let's look at the results list from Paula last year. I finished 30th at the season opener. You know, nothing to brag about, but 30th in the motos. And there's a lot of riders out. If I were to race today without passing one rider, just based on the riders who are either retired, moved down to the 250 class, or are injured, I would finish 17th place. So Chase Sexton, he won the overall last year. He's gonna be racing. Ken Roxon, he could technically be on the injured list, but he really is on the World Supercross list. He's not racing outdoors, he's racing World Supercross. So that's one rider out. Christian Craig, injured list, broken and dislocated elbow, really bad. Eli Tomac, injured list. Ryan Dungey, he's on the retired list. You got Jason Anderson on the injured list. He said it's not too bad. He broke his neck, but it is healing quickly. It's not such a bad break, and he will be back soon, but I have talked to Kawasaki and he won't be at Paula. Antonio Caroli, he finished 7th last year at the opener. He is retired. Aaron Plessinger, he's healthy, he'll be there. He's still banged up and sore, he said in the post-race press conference at Salt Lake City from his previous injury, but he's racing and he's good enough to at least do that. Justin Barsha broke his shoulder blade, collarbone, and a couple ribs. I don't think he will be at the first round. Broken shoulder blade is not something to mess around with. Collarbone, ribs, those will be fine, but that shoulder blade, I think that's what could hold him up. Garrett Marchbank, he finished 11th last year. Garrett Marchbanks did in the 450 class. He's actually going to be racing the 250 class this summer, so he won't be there. Freddie Norn, he will be there. He finished 12th last year. Josh Gilbert, he came over from the UK. He finished 13th last year. I sent him a message on Instagram, haven't heard back yet. I'm assuming he will be there. Alex Martin was 14th. He's now retired. Benny Bloss, he got hurt, unfortunately, at Nashville, the Crashville Supercross at Nashville. Felipe Felix Lopez, he was 16th last year. He's planning on being back, but he says he's not 100% sure if he'll be at Paula or if he'll wait until Thunder Valley. Ryan Surratt, JCR Honda off-road rider, he will be there. We mentioned that on our Instagram. He was 17th at the opener last year. Brandon Hartraft, you guys all know he had that horrible injury before the season started, HEP Suzuki rider, so he is still on the mend. Jerry Robin, he was originally planning on racing 250, but he is going to race the 450 class. He was 19th at the opener. Marshall Welton, he will be racing. And then following down the list, Justin Bogle is injured. He won't be racing. Bryson Gardner got 23rd. He's injured and won't be racing either. So a lot of guys out, and that actually bumps me to 16th place when you add in Bryson Gardner, my buddy there. So a lot of guys out, and that is also not counting the guys who didn't race Paula last year, like Cooper Webb, who were supposed to be racing it this year. So the injured list, man, it is long, it is tough. Thankfully, there are a few guys that I didn't just mention who missed Paula last year, but will be racing Paula this year. Dylan Ferrandis is one of them. He got hurt at press day last year, broke his thumb before the season started. He will be racing this year. He's healthy, he's back riding. He missed all of Supercross, but he will be on the line. Adam Cicerillo missed it last year. He will be on the line at Paula this year as well. So looking forward to it. Man, that injured list is long. That's not even talking about, I definitely missed a few guys, and that's not even talking about the 250 class with guys like Cameron McAdoo that are out. So this sport is tough. And if you guys have any advice on what we could do to make the sport different so that we would have less injuries, I don't know what there is to do, but there's got to be something we could change, right? All right, next up, we got to talk about the Motocross Action Fantasy League for the outdoors this summer. Very, very excited to release this. If you're watching this video and it's only been a couple days after the release of this video, and this video comes out May 17th, Wednesday. So if you're watching this week in MXA, sometime close to that, you are one of the first people to hear about Motocross Action's Fantasy League, because we are starting it right now, right before our season starts. You can click the link up here to check it out. I think, is it up there or over there? One of these sides, and or check it out in the description below on our YouTube page or on our website to get signed up for it. It's free to sign up, and you get to win some epic prizes, and hopefully you have a lot of fun playing. So there's prizes each weekend from our awesome sponsors, and the grand prize for the person who has the most points at the end of the year, you win a Beta 300 two-stroke motocross model with FMF pipe and silencer on it. So you get to win a full-on Beta 300 two-stroke, a full dirt bike, just for playing for free. And then also throughout the year, at each round, at each 11 rounds, you'll win prizes at each round. So New Tech, they're sponsoring. O'Neill is sponsoring. Maxxis, Weisco, Motomuck, Boxo Tools, Ride Engineering, Achirby's, Viral Brand Goggles, FMF, Guts Racing Seat Covers, Blood Lubricants, and Funnel Web Filters are all our awesome sponsors that are going to be supporting us and providing some epic prizes throughout this summer. So I'm on the list. I think Daryl put me in for $1, so I'm a cheap buy if you want to put me on your team, and hopefully I can score you guys some good points. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's MXA's first dive into the Fantasy League, so if you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments, or any ideas, let us know, because this is brand new, which means that if you sign up and you participate and you do well, you have a great chance at winning prizes, because we're brand new to the game, and we got some epic prizes in there. So be sure to check it out, motocrossactionmag.com. That's our website. You'll be able to learn more about it there. We also got some clips from Fox Raceway this last weekend at Paula, where I did some racing on our Gas 2023 450 Factory Edition model. So that's the updated platform with the exotic plastics, the new frame, the new engine, and all that stuff. So that's the bike I'm planning on racing at Thunder Valley. But obviously, if I don't get things figured out for Hangtown and Paula, I might have to race that at Paula and switch up some plans here. But either way, we're getting it figured out. Insta360, the X3 camera, I wore it on my chest and had some epic footage from the first Open Pro Sport Moto. I started right next to Ryder Difrancesco, and that guy, he revs his bike a lot. Both him and Jet Reynolds, factory Kawasaki Pro Circuit riders, they like the sound of their engines because they rev them a ton on the starting line and in the pits when they're riding through. But fun to race with those guys. I also got a cool little interview with Ryder Difrancesco. We had some fun on the track. Great track for testing, great track for shaking off the cobwebs and just getting comfortable before the season gets going. Check out these clips here. Fun talk with Ryder Difrancesco to hear why he's racing local races. It was a Loretta Lynn qualifier on Saturday, but obviously he's not racing Loretta Lynn, so he's just getting some gate drops in to get ready for the outdoor nationals. Him and his teammate Jet Reynolds. Also MXA's Josh Fout and Dennis Stapleton were out there racing. Dennis actually won the 30+ pro class on Sunday for the Mammoth qualifier out there, so good job to Dennis. Let's hear from everybody now. All right, so I just said to Ryder Difrancesco, you have to humble yourself. If you have a factory ride, you have a sick bike, you have plans in place to go race the nationals, in 2 weeks. You have to humble yourself to come out here and race an amateur race. But this guy's doing it. Is it Mitch that's making the call on that?
Honestly, it's just myself.
Really?
Yeah. Like I always do better if I race and gain that confidence.
Yeah.
And know like, okay, I can line up and whole shot.
Yeah.
Like,
but he's proud of you for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's old school too, so it's old school racing.
Yeah.
Race as much as you can.
Yeah.
Much track time.
Yeah. Track time. Mitch Payton loves racing. We used to have a lot of pro circuit guys at Glen Helen at REM every Saturday. Bill Apota was out there. And a lot of the pro circuit guys just from over the years, like whenever they had an off weekend, Mitch said go race. So you, Jet Reynolds, you guys grew up racing against each other. Yeah. You're doing local racing this weekend, and then 2 weeks until the Nationals. So what's the excitement like for that?
Just getting to like race and then knowing that I'll be on the same gate here in 2 weeks. A little nerve-wracking, but it's just a race. Like if you look at it like that, it makes it much easier on yourself.
Yep.
So yeah, it shouldn't be too bad.
All right, well, good luck.
Thanks. Today or Denise?
Is it Dennis or Denise today?
I rode good today, but my starts were Denise, riding was Dennis.
Okay, starts Denise, riding Dennis. We started right next to each other. You had a perfect gate.
Yeah, I had a pretty good gate.
Mine was not good.
No.
I still got you.
You did. I might have had you the first 3 feet.
Yeah, you did. You were actually...
I was out of the gate pretty good.
You were. All right, good stuff. Josh, first race at Paula probably ever, right?
Yep, first ever.
How was it?
I didn't actually realize how rough it gets here.
Pretty rough?
Yeah, a lot of square and a lot of ruts. It's good.
How is that all-in suspension since you're still in the process of testing that?
So far, so good. A little bit of adjustment needs to be done after that last moto.
Too soft?
Too soft.
Too soft. All right. Well, Glen Helen, more of a drier, skatier track in general, and more wheel spin there, so the bike's handled differently, and softer suspension is better there. That's where we set it up originally. Yep. But good part about riding different tracks is you get different settings. So, good day, Dennis, Josh. Nationals are coming up in 2 weeks, and what better way to practice for it than come out here?
Yeah, gate drops, nothing subsidized gate drop.
Yeah, I'm racing Paula in 2 weeks. He's racing Hangtown and Thunder Valley Amateur Day in 3 and 4 weeks. And he's racing what regional?
The regional, the weekend after the national, here the same weekend as Hangtown.
Yeah, Paula regional for Loretta's 3 weeks. See you there. All right, guys, and a little more insight into what I'm up to at the recording of this video. It's Monday, and I'm in the MXA mobile studio, and I'm actually on lunch for jury duty right now. So I'm really hoping and praying that I'm able to get out of jury duty because I have a pre-planned, prepaid for work trip coming up where I will be racing the Nationals, and I cannot afford to miss any days at the track as my bikes are still in pieces and I gotta get ready for these races. So yeah, maybe say a prayer for me, guys, that I get out of jury duty for the rest of this week and don't get put on a court case. I'd love to do it. Just not right now when we're racing the Nationals, maybe a little later this summer when I have a couple weeks off. But thank you guys for tuning in to This Week in MXA, episode number 125. 125, that was my first pro national number, so it's a special number for me. This Week in MXA, sponsored by O'Neill Racing. Thanks to them for supporting us. We'll see you guys at the track. If you're gonna be at the first 3 Nationals, hope to meet you in person in the pit.